interactive sessions. And last but not least, we will have a closing remark from Dr. Ari, our ASEC president, who are giving a lot of love for those that in field trips, spending time together, and to share with us what's the way forward and for the closing remark. So along the journey, actually another drafting committee, Prof. Dato Rashila from Malaysia, will try to dial in the airport. I know many of people she's actually overseas, but she making his best to jump in the airport at the midnight of 4 a.m. So she texted me, she's in somewhere in the world, I don't know where, but it's 4 a.m. at her time. So if she managed to make it, I will introduce her to everyone as well. So without further ado, I would like to invite my mentor and I would say the brain behind this roadmap, Dato Professor Dr. Denison Jayasooria from Malaysia. Welcome, Dato.
Thank you, Zoel. I hope all of you can hear me clearly. My slides are up. The theme that Zoel has passed on to me is setting the context from margins to movement, vision and mission of the roadmap. Now, I've got the three basic points. The key presentation or the keynote would be from Dr. Bayan, and I think Khairil will unpack the roadmap. But I've got three basic points that are very important in this journey and as an introductory reference to our whole endeavor in ASEAN. I think firstly, the UN recognized the potential of SSE as community-led and a vehicle for accelerating SDGs. I will unpack this through the resolutions and the Secretary General's report affirming this. Secondly, the most recent social summit at Doha released the UN Doha Declaration, which again identifies SSE organizations can play a key role in achieving the 2030 agenda. And finally, on the roadmap, a vision and direction for community solidarity-based organization as partners in accelerating SDGs, how as grassroots movements we can move. Next, please. Now, I wrote an article which came out in the Malaysian Parliament Journal, and I highlighted the two resolutions and the UN Secretary General's report. And it's largely the effort by the UN Interagency Task Force on Social Solidarity Economy. Dr. Bayan, Ari, even myself were part of the REPES team involved, and REPES ASSEC is part of the global movement REPES that was quite instrumental in the resolutions, role played by Yvonne and others, largely to promote SSE as an inclusive economic model. So it's significant. There are two resolutions and there is a Secretary General's report. And there are over 19 UN agencies that form the task force, along with NGOs, international ones that are co-members of this task force. Next. The first resolution came out in April 18, 2023, sponsored by a number of countries, including France, that highlighted the theme of promoting social solidarity for sustainable development. And the background, the UN agency that played a key role is ILO on formalizing the informal sector, ensuring decent work, linking it to the SDGs. And the resolution here, which had a smaller number of countries that supported it at this initial stage, provided an official definition and also the place of localizing SDG. And it also called for the Secretary General within a year to present a report to the UN General Assembly on the role played by SSE organizations around the world. And that report was launched a year later on 10th October 2024, where it recognizes SSE enterprises as essential partners in advancing SDG. It contributes to inclusive job resilience and sustainable recovery. It encourages social entrepreneurship and also community-based local economies. And so the Secretary General's report is significant because it documented the cross-section of grassroots experiences by organizations through documenting it with the support. So data was quite key in this report. Next, please. Now, in the Secretary General's report, SSE plays a key role in achieving. It provided an in-depth analysis of the contribution. It documents cooperative, mutual societies, social enterprises, and associations which have the same value for the care for people and planet, equality and fairness, interdependence, and so forth, and in fostering a more inclusive, resilient, sustainable economies in implementing SDG. And I think the UN Task Force played a major role along with ILO and number of these agencies to get the formal endorsement of SSE in the context of SDGs. Next. Now, there was a second resolution after the Secretary General's report, which got the overwhelming support of 175 nations. This is very significant. Resolutions are not sort of mandatory. It's aspirational statements. It's different from, different from conventions, which are legally mandatory. These are aspirations, and 175 countries supported this. I think there was only one country that abstained. So for various reasons on an ideological point. But it's interesting that all the ASEAN countries supported this. So in terms of policy at the global level on SDGs and SSE, this was highlighted and accepted by 10 of the ASEAN countries. And that's recorded. Now, during the debate, Senegal argued, because there was this question of whether SSE opposed capitalism, but the defining point that the UN documents bring out, it offers an alternate framework that focuses on cooperation, equity, and sustainability, and seeks to promote economic practices that favor social well-being over simple profit maximization. I think Ben, as an economist, would be better in unpacking this. So it is people over profits. It's not profit maximization in the sort of capitalistic investment-driven projects around ASEAN at the moment. So there is a counter economic force that the UN highlights, and 10 of the ASEAN countries endorsed it. Next. Now, the Doha Summit is a global movement. Of course, it was foreshadowed by the Environment Summit that also took place around the same time. But this is significant that it is the second summit, and it's a follow-up on the theme of social development. And in the declaration that was endorsed unanimously by the countries, they recognize that SSE can play a role in eradicating poverty, promoting social inclusion, and catalyzing social transformation. They specifically identified the role of cooperatives and social enterprises and called for renewed mandates, the role to generate decent work, um, uh, echo democracy, strengthen local communities, and to ensure no one is left behind. So this was at the Doha meeting, and REPAS was represented. I attended this ILO-sponsored with the UN Task Force event that gave some facelift to SSE in the Doha context. Next, please. Now, this is our own virtual event put up by Zoel, supported by our Hong Kong team and MySDG Academy and ASEC, where we gave, a site event where about 65 people participated. The focus of application was on women empowerment. Eric's comment and James' comment, which is documented in our website, shows that at the ASEAN level, we have tried to interrelate with the global movements in order to bring an ASEAN voice, Asian voice, at the same time to move ASEAN in a direction that we could give greater visibility to SSEs and seek the recognition of governments as well. Next. Now, this is my third and final point, that the roadmap provides the vision and direction for community-based organizations as partners in accelerating SDG. Actually, this is an ambitious plan because normally civil society and NGOs do recommendations and give it to government and tell government, please do this, please do this. And then we find fault with them. And then each year it is talking and critical assessment. Here, the unique feature is not recommendations to the government, but it's a pledge document. It's like a covenant where civil society, NGO, community-based social economic organizations, which are SSE focused, are making a pledge to say, this is what we commit to by 2030 in implementing, promoting SDG-SSE mandates in the 11 ASEAN countries now. 11 ASEAN countries. We added one more. So there are 11 ASEAN countries. And how then do we make this grandeur global sort of policy on SSE, which came from the ground, but now top accepted? How do we make it a much more visible grassroots movement, not just on paper, not just on thought? Next. Now, in the roadmap, I think there are clear targets and indicators. It's a move from an idea to a movement of grassroots actors. Actors can change the destiny of people who are often left behind. I know Zoel said by 2030 we'll have thousands of organizations, but I looked at the target this morning. Actually, ours was quite a conservative one. We said that in every ASEAN country, we want a national network. This will mean there is a lead organization. Like now in the Philippines, it is Dr. Ben and his team. In Indonesia, it's Dr. Eri with Bina Swadaya as a lead organization. In Malaysia, it's now with MySDG Academy that's pushing the agenda through conferences and also through the APPGM team, but really to move the partners. But Thailand has a network of people, and other ASEAN countries, we might have individuals or organizations, but there is not an identifiable number. So our target was between 10 to 20, and then to see whether we could reach all 11, which will then mean a target of 222. We don't have a regional secretariat budget, so forth. So it's more the national actors who are taking that lead and how they will extend, and how then we move grassroots actors within their respective countries to showcase, to build capacity, to influence and impact others. I think the momentum is great through the initial work of Dr. Ben, Pak Bambang, by Eri, by the team as a whole. But we now need to consolidate target, and the targets in the document is something the members or partners who sign up will then say, I bring these resources on the table. I'm now not waiting for Dr. Ben to raise the money or Eri to raise the money, but each partner saying, I can devote so much of time and resources to move the movement. Where are my networks in ASEAN? So would Thailand reach out to Cambodia, Laos? Would Malaysia reach out to Singapore, to other parts, Myanmar? Because in some countries which are challenging politically, we don't have real partners, but there are grassroots movements in these countries. Next. Okay, I think it's building a SDG-SSE movement. Our movement must be truly grassroots. We have partners and so forth. We are also top-heavy, but really we are a movement of grassroots people who are actors on the ground. We need to ensure it's in 11 countries. We are strong in the Philippines, Indonesia, Thailand, Malaysia. We need to build people movements towards SDG-SSE in the other countries. I think the document highlights about data, collecting impact stories. We want to foster partnerships. And in this context, there needs to be funding and personnel. And at this point, we are short of both. We don't have a regional funder or persons willing to absorb this. But I think each partner could do something for a start, and then we can see how we can move on. So Zoel and team, that's it for me. All the best for the whole day, the morning when we launch this. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dato. You are just at the right time. Okay, it's like we have a timer up there. It's counting down. But thank you very much for the context. And what is important here is like in Malaysia we always say syok sendiri. Syok sendiri means like we do it like for the sake we feel it's good to do it. But from what Dato Denison have shared, it is not that case. There is support and mandate and the importance of accelerating SDG via SSE Roadmap. So thank you very much, Dr. Denison. And without further ado, I would like to invite our keynote speaker of the day, Dr. Benjamin, to share with us what is SSE. This might be a matter for many people because they are thinking, what is this SSE about? But before I hand over to Dr. Ben, maybe I would like to also invite all our friends here. If you could rename yourself with your countries, it would be great. I'm so happy to get all the support. You know what? We are hitting our maximum capacity. I never have one time 100 of people join in this Zoom room, but you make it. We can see the solidarity spirit at this moment. Thank you very much. And Dr. Ben, I would like to hand over the floor to you.
Thank you.
Welcome, Dr. Ben. Yeah.
Thank you. Good morning to everyone. I just like to express, my gratitude to everyone for attending this. I noted that we are now 95, almost 100 participants in this very important meeting. And before I present this topic on why social society economy matters for SDG acceleration, I just like to inform everyone that the Global Social Solidarity Economy Forum, Secretary General Ms. Od Saldana, has just sent me an email last night, which I was not able to share because it was already late. She's saying that unfortunately she wanted to attend this, but it's 4 a.m. in France. So he just wanted to convey her greetings. And she says, I would like, and I'm quoting here in her message, she says, I would like here to confirm our willingness to actively participate in the coming summit, the ASEAN SDG-SSE Forum, which could be in May 2026. Further, she says, the Global Social Solidarity Economy Forum will officially express its interest to support the dynamics towards local governments in particular. And then she said, if we could organize a discussion between GSAF and our network here this coming February 6th. So I will send this to Zoel, and she could probably act on this. And also she said that GSAF in this forum might be represented by Ms. Jin-Kyun Choi from the Social Value and Solidarity Foundation of Korea. And I see the name of Jin-Kyun Choi. She is already participating in this forum. So welcome to Ms. Choi, representing the Global Social Solidarity Economy Forum based in France. So now I would like to present my thoughts about why social solidarity economy SSE matters for SDG acceleration. Next slide, please. So a while ago, we were discussing about capitalism, which is the mainstream economy right now that we have. This one we call it traditional economy because it has been there for quite some time. Now, capitalism prioritizes profit maximization. So everyone who takes economics will say that the purpose of going into business is to generate and maximize profit. Now in SSE, the purpose is to benefit the people and the planet, the environment. It doesn't mean to say that social economy does not like profit. Profit is essential for business to grow. But it is not the generation of profit that is most important, but the distribution of profit. In SSE, a good part of profit is reinvested in the people, the lives of people, as well as in the environment. For that reason, that's why it's called, it is not, focused on profit maximizing, but in benefiting the people and the environment. So that's why the mission of SSE is the shift to prioritize towards prioritizing people and purpose over capital. Because in the traditional economy, the focus is on the benefiting the capital, not the people and the environment. So the profits is distributed and assets with consideration for the benefit of the people as well as on the environment. So now, what is SSE? Actually, this is an economic system that also produces goods and services, but explicitly to pursue social and environmental objectives. Now, who are the kind of organizations that undertake this activity? It's a broad range of organizations like cooperatives, associations, mutual societies, foundations, and social enterprises. Now, Dato Denison a while ago said that we are not proposing anything new. Why? Because cooperatives, associations, mutual societies, foundations, social enterprises are already there. They are already generating activities for the purpose of prioritizing the benefit of the people and the environment. So in other words, this is nothing new, only that we are focusing on the activities of these organizations because we want to focus the policy of governments, even the for-profit companies, to assist, to help, and support the development of these organizations that are the ones creating SSE, or Social Study Academy. Okay, next slide, please. So in SSE, the foundation really is the cultural practices in many countries. For example, in Indonesia, this is what is called gotong royong, the spirit of working together. In the Philippines, we have bayanihan. That means to say that we undertake collective action together. And so these are the basic cultural values that have been handed down from old generations to the present time, where people have learned to work together in order to create a society, a community that are helping, where members are helping one another. So it is nothing new. Only the terminology is probably new to many of you because in the past, in the Philippines, even in India, and probably in other parts of Asia, we just call this the people's economy, the grassroots economy. We have terms like that, no? But now, because of the UN resolution, there is now an official title and definition of what is a social study economy, and that was mentioned a while ago by Dato Denison. Next slide, please. So why do we need to pool resources? Because this is the basic approach, economic approach of KCC. Why do we need to pool resources to escape poverty? Now, in the traditional economy, 98%, 95 to 95, 98% of the enterprises are what they call nano, micro, small, and medium enterprises. In the Philippines, nano, which are very micro, micro small enterprises, they comprise about 98% of the total number of enterprises in the Philippines. Now, many of them are not organized into cooperatives or associations. They are individual enterprises. And so they're scattered all over the country, and they are struggling because they have very small resources. So even if the value of the total value of economic activities is in millions, even trillions of rupee or ringgit or pesos, because they are individual, small, they cannot really make a big impact on the economy. So the alternative is pool the resources. For example, 100 million pesos or ringgit is quite a large sum of money. And with that kind of amount of money, you can establish really large enterprises and generate large sums of profit. But to micro small enterprise, that's a large amount. Yeah. However, if there are 100,000 individual nano MSEs and they put in 1,000 pesos or ringgit per month, they can have 100 million, amount of value of currency that they can invest. This is what SSE organizations are doing. They're pouring their resources. So the solution really to poverty is not individual initiatives. Although individual entrepreneurship is very, very important. The important thing is to pool our resources, to pool our effort. And this is what the roadmap would like to do, to promote collaboration, to promote the pooling of resources, to promote unity in developing an alternative economy. And in doing so, next slide, please. In doing so, we can have what is called a whole of society approach. We could impact the government as well as the private sector. Now, in a mixed economy, like many of our economies, the first system is called private for-profit system. And this is represented by for-profit corporations. The second system is the planned service provision. This is represented by the state or the government. The third system is the civil society. And it's here where SSE is born by the cooperatives, associations, mutual societies, and so forth. However, what we'd like to do is not only to confine the initiative of the civil society within the civil society. We want to impact the for-profit system as well as the public, the plant service provision. Why? Because we need policy from the public sector and the resources of the country, of the society. The biggest portion of that are held by the for-profit corporations. So this is why we need to mobilize resources across all these sectors so that we can integrate the interests of the poor, workers, and vulnerable groups into the production and wealth distribution of the entire country. So we are not only trying to promote SSE within the civil society sector. We need to influence the for-profit sector as well as the public sector. Next slide,
Indeed.
please.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ben. And yes, this is indeed a whole society approach. Dr. Ben, maybe in 2 minutes we wrap up.
Okay.
Thank you.
So here is our value proposition that we are promoting sustainable development, not dependency. Our high ground agenda is that we promote partnership, and we would like to provide a return of value so that there is profit, there is surplus to be distributed for the benefit of the people and the environment. Next slide, please. So this is where we localize the sustainable development goals. Next slide, please. Through the roadmap. And we have this impact SDG 1, SDG 5. Next slide, please. 8, SDG 13, SDG 17, and other SDGs, but these are the basic SDGs that are impacted by state organizations. Next slide, please. So we have cases like the HomeNet Philippines, HomeNet Thailand, HomeNet Pakistan. Next slide, please. And it is empowering invisible workforce through legal recognition, fair markets, and transitioning women from vulnerable sector to empowered actors. Next slide, please. So the high ground agenda is that it's not only an alternative model, SSE, it is a primary strategy for building resilient, inclusive, and sustainable communities. Next slide. So our call to action is if all of us can partner in accelerating change and supporting the roadmap. Last slide, please. So our call is that we could join, the roadmap digital ecosystem. We have already a website for this. And with this, thank you very much for listening.
Thank you, Dr. Ben. There's always a lot to learn from you. Yes, let's give your virtual clap and also your feedback and your love to us. And for your information, friends, here, we are going to host an event for this ASEAN SDG-SSE Roadmap every last month, every last Tuesday of the month. Every last Tuesday of the month, 11:30, which means that next month, at this Tuesday, 11:30, we will have our next event throughout the year to build the momentum. And along the journey, we will invite a lot of good resource person like Dr. Ben to share with us and keep us motivated, keep us update about the development of SSE and SDG. So I encourage you to mark your calendar every last Tuesday of the month, 11:30 to 1 p.m. We will have our continuous activities. So thank you once again, Dr. Ben, for your very holistic sharing and also teaching of the platform. And next, we would like to zoom in a little bit, particularly about the roadmap that Dr. Ben have shared just now. So what is the targets exactly, and what is the goal that we want to achieve? So without further ado, I would like to invite Dr. Khairil from Malaysia to share with us what is this roadmap about. And now you can go to our website and download the roadmap from the website as well. Thank you. Over to you, Dr. Khairil.
Thank you very much, Zoel. I'm hearing an echo. I think it's okay now. A very good morning to everyone. We've got a full room, and good afternoon or good evening if you're dialing in from elsewhere. So I'm just going to basically give everyone a peek into the roadmap document itself. But as Zoel mentioned, it's already available for download, so you can take a look at the details in the document. And I guess in summary, the roadmap basically encapsulates everything that Dato Denison and also Dr. Ben have presented earlier. So next slide, please, Sapar. So what we have now is a document that basically captures the spirit of a social and solidarity economy, and a document that basically aims to accelerate the contribution of SSE initiatives and also actors within the ASEAN region. And a lot of what we have in the roadmap were developed through the course of 2025, especially during our May conference, which was shown earlier in the video that we saw at the beginning. And altogether, the roadmap outlines 5 goals and also 31 targets. So I'll show everybody the goals and targets in a little bit. But before that, next slide, Sapar. The roadmap's objectives are as follows. Again, it basically brings together everything that was already mentioned by Dato Denison and Dr. Ben earlier. We are aiming through the roadmap to establish SSE as a fully acknowledged and powerful vehicle for implementing the SDG. So it's not only about SSE, but it's also about accelerating SDGs in the ASEAN region by way of basically mobilizing our collective resources as SSE practitioners and also civil society actors. Next slide. The roadmap also outlines its vision and also mission, which can also be seen in the document. Basically, the vision is by the time the roadmap's timeline is fulfilled, which also coincides with the fulfillment of the global SDG agenda, we'd be seeing SSE as a fully recognized vehicle for development in ASEAN. Next. And the roadmap also, so this is just the who's who in the roadmap. We have a drafting committee, as mentioned by Zoel earlier. So we have Dato Denison, Dr. Ben, and we also have Dr. Ari, Dr. Victor Karunan, and also Prof. Rashila, who will be speaking later. And we also have a dedicated group of writers who have assisted the drafting committee in producing the roadmap. And going forward, ASSEC and also MySDG Academy, as well as Center for Social Inclusion, will serve as the roadmap's secretariat to monitor the fulfillment of all the goals and targets. Next slide. And of course, because it's meant to be a roadmap for ASEAN SSE and also SDG actors, we are piggybacking on ASEAN's own commitment to a people-centered development. So, of course, the latest document is the one that was launched in conjunction with Malaysia's chairmanship last year, which is the ASEAN 2045 community vision. So a lot of the spirit that's spelled out in this document is present in the roadmap as well. Next slide. The roadmap also spells out its strategic features, which were all basically based on the feedback that we got from the participants of the KL conference last year. So you'll be able to take a look at the kind of discussion that emerged related to policy and legislation, related to SSE financing, impact assessment and data, capacity building, and also institutional arrangements and management. So basically, every discussion mapped onto the 5 pillars of the SDGs, which is people, prosperity, planet, peace, and partnership. Next slide. Okay, so this is just this slide shows you a snapshot of the 5 goals of the roadmap. As I mentioned earlier, we have 5 goals and also 31 targets distributed across the goals. But these are not just goals that are meant to be idle, as mentioned earlier by Dato Denison. The goals will have to be fulfilled by all of us, partners of the roadmap. Otherwise, it's going to be very difficult to achieve all the different targets. In addition to that, we've also earmarked different targets for fulfillment for different years, depending on how immediate we can achieve those targets. Next slide. Okay, so for goal 1, the focus is basically to work towards giving greater visibility to SSE initiatives across the ASEAN context. So you can take a look at the goals details later, but there are 6 goals to be achieved. 6 targets to be achieved under goal 1. So basically, the targets are directed towards making sure that SSE initiatives that's happening across all the different ASEAN countries will be showcased in regional and also global forums. Next slide. Goal 2 consists of targets that are meant to strengthen partnerships and also expand the reach of the roadmap. So at the moment, you will see that the main partners of the roadmap are rather concentrated between a few countries, namely Malaysia, the Philippines, Indonesia, and also Thailand. So in the long run, as part of Goal 2, we're aiming to expand the reach of the roadmap by reaching out to more partners in all the other ASEAN countries, including, of course, our latest edition, Timor-Leste. And the secretariat will work towards achieving these targets. Next slide. Goal 3 focuses on data. A lot's been said already earlier about how stories from the ground and local realities need to come out more to provide more context to development work across the region. So this is something that this goal is going to be looking into. The targets mostly are focusing on how we, through our collective effort, can build a solid data repository that can be presented at across different levels, especially on the policy tables and also in policy platforms and discussion, to, of course, not only showcase the achievements of SSE initiatives on the ground, but also to highlight how these initiatives can actually provide a very important contribution towards regional development. Next slide. Goal 4 is about building capacity. It's the goal with the most number of targets. We have 8 targets under this goal. So the targets are basically looking into how we can mainstream SSE initiatives across the region, and also to find ways by broadening our partnerships with, for example, financing institutions, to try to help SSE initiatives to scale up their businesses as well, in terms of marketing, for example, but also to look into how these initiatives can be sustainable. So there's also a very strong environmental dimension to this goal. Next slide.
All right, Dr. Khairil, 1 minute to go.
Yeah, so just a minute more. And goal 5 is focused on basically preparing the next generation of SSE leaders in all the ASEAN countries, just to make sure that all these initiatives can be sustained over the long run. And this is where involvement of youth is very important, something which Zoel will be working on in the next in the next 5 years. Just finally, Zoel, because this is on your request, next slide. This is just a next slide. Sorry. This is just a peek into the website. So I mentioned at the beginning, all targets have been mapped onto different years of fulfillment, depending on whether or not they can be achieved in the short or the long term. So of course the roadmap document also has all these details, but this is just screenshots from the website that Zoel has built and that she'll show later. So for the next 5 years, we have earmarked the targets to be the specific targets to be fulfilled. So in 2026, these are the targets that we're working on. If you can go forward to the next slide. And 2027, and so on, all the way until 2030. So to close, we would really appreciate everybody's support and partnership, because as mentioned by both Dato and also Dr. Ben earlier, the roadmap cannot succeed without all our collective effort and also contribution. Thank you very much. Sorry for taking a bit of time.
No problem. Thank you very much, Dr. Khairil. And yes, thank you for everyone for the support and the momentum. I can see the momentum is going on high until that capacity is full. I ask my staff, my officer, okay, you all log out first. People are coming in. So thank you very much, Dr. Khairil, sharing the roadmap. And the next, I really want to, the next sessions, we will have people who are using SSE on ground to actually accelerate SDG. We have the representative from Indonesia and also representative from Philippines. But before that, I would also like to take a few minutes to actually drive you through about the portal, the portal that Dr. Ben has shared just now, Dr. Khairil have shared just now, because this will be an important tools, I would say important tools to actually help us to move forward. As one of our roadmap goals is to use data to facilitate our decisions and to make a more effective movement. And therefore, I have shared this platform into the chat box. If you click inside, this is the portal that we are going to use. In the first page, you will have the key documents that Dr. Ben, Dr. Khairil, and Dr. Denison have mentioned to use. And in the first sessions, you will see the roadmap by targets. In this year, what is really matter to us is to have a continuous events and especially focus on policy framing. And therefore, once again, I would like to remind everyone that every last Tuesday of the month, 11:30 a.m. Malaysia time, we will have this regular meeting. Then is to bring the policy statement to the ASEAN network through our different stakeholders, have the ASEAN regional gathering. And Dr. Ben is actually working on something in Philippines, as this year Philippines is the chair of ASEAN. So we will announce the movement soon. And also to identify the academic and researcher on SDG-SSE, have the sub-regional research projects, and also undertake annual case study on SDG-SSE. We want to document more case study and to make the concept alive. And therefore, this is the key things that we want to achieve in a year. Like what Dr. Denison has said just now, we will need a key coordinator from each country. If you are moved and you feel resonated with the plan that we are showcasing, please kindly reach out to the secretariat and to express interest. While this part is the target by thematic, what we want to achieve to popularize SSE based on the year. You can check it out later up to 2030. By the 2030, we hope that we can do a VNR monitoring for each country to match our work in the ministry. All right, so strengthening partnership, build the data systems, building the business potential, and building the solidarity among the SSE grassroots community. While we also have a knowledge hub uploading all the slides, videos that we have shared. So this is to facilitate the learning process. So this is a little bit about us. I won't go through details, but just sharing with you if you want to know who are the person behind what has been done in a glance, and the profile of them, you can come here, and we are most welcome you be part of this the background as well. So our coordination secretariat here, and this is what really matter, and I will strongly encourage you to actually pitch and showcase your project in this portal and to fostering ASEAN partnership. So I have example here how it works. So you can actually come to here, propose a project. All right, key in your data, tell us what kind of partnership and resources matter to you. And you can click on those that you're really keen to and relevant. And later on, you can show this proposal opportunities is open until when, so that you will get the relevant people to feedback to you. And also you are from which country and which SDG, and this is relevant to which priority. This is important because we need to give sufficient information for the counterpart, for the people who are using this portal. I have checked the back end just now. From yesterday, we briefly share via WhatsApp until now, we have about 190 over people have logged in this portal. So I will continue to advocate and promote this portal, and I hope that more people will come in, and we have the regional head or the country head to actually drive this portal together. Your contact information, WhatsApp, social media, a bit information about yourself so people will know about it, and also a cover image. This is how we attract people. Then you submit. At the admin portal, at the back end, my site or my team site, we will review the project, review the partnership proposal, to review everything before going on live. This is also to be responsible to everyone, because this portal is going to use by public. So we will review then before we go live. This is how you can share a project and event. While the others, if you are not hosting or organizing an event, but you want to be a part of an event in Philippines, a part of an event in Indonesia, you can express interest for the partnership. Tell the organizer what you can offer. How do they reach out to you? You prefer email, you prefer WhatsApp, or you prefer a phone call? Who to contact and what you can contribute, so that we can manage the expectation even in the first layer. All right. And what is your motivation of contributing in this project? I would say that this is really a good mechanism or a good opportunity for your organization to excel your work in different countries, the ASEAN countries, go beyond the borders. So you facilitate if the partnership happen, then what we will do is we will match up. We are using the AI system by using the portal, and for the future step, the two organizations will have to communicate among one another. Our site secretariat will fit out after matching you up. But to make sure that the system is well governed and we have that prevent scammer coming to use this portal, we are trying to reduce use. But anyhow, I would say that everyone, the user of the portal, you have to be careful on screening your partners as well. So this is a partner directory. You can register your organization here. Likewise, after filling the basic information, the secretariat will review before allowing it to go to on live. So at our level, we will try our best to do the governance and do the security system. So let's continue to work to bridge the gap and also to build the community together. This is the special working group. So we have a WhatsApp group to really foster the communication of each thematic. So we have the business, social business resilience, grassroots and youth, and also popularized for the policy advocacy. If you are interested to be in the specific group, you can request to join and provide some background information, and the admin will facilitate. I would say that this working group, specific working group, is someone who really serious to be into it and to have a say, to have an influence power. I would say that after years, this platform is beyond to everyone. Then we continue together, we build it. All right. So this is the Knowledge Hub. We have uploaded some of the training videos, the events that we have done previously. As I mentioned, this roadmap is not happen overnight. It has built over 2 years of progress, and with continuous consultation, webinars, and events. You can get some of the materials here. While this is the place where we host our publications. This book I will highly recommend to you is the Building Inclusive Community through SDG-SSE. There's a lot of case study. If you're interested of any of the material, you can just press download and you can get the material. All right. So you will see I've already downloaded into my download. All right. Then toolkits. In future, if any of the organizations are interested to build the toolkits together, please approach us, reach out to us. Let's work on together. All right. And we have also have a seasonal communication pool. Oh, someone have clicked about it already. So what is really matter to you, so that the secretariat or the coordination part, we can really move forward with the interest of our community. So this one you won't see is what our internal team will see, but just to show you that we will do our part of in the governance. But anyhow, I strongly encourage you to register. It may take you 5 minutes, 10 minutes to register, but it will be very helpful. After you register, you will also have a portal like me. All right, you can check into the portal. You can register as your capacity as an individual or an organization. If you have the consent to represent the organization, I strongly encourage you to register as an organization. At this present moment, the partners that we features will be organization-based. And also, you can track all your activities, what projects you have expressed interest, you have registered, what kind of partnership that activities you have in this through this platform, which working group, event, and organization, and etc. So we'll continue to build up this platform. It is still in the initial place, may have bugs. So please let me know if you found that there is an area to improve or there is bug, and let's continue to build up this community. All right. So thank you for the time given, and without further ado, I would like to invite our two resource persons of the day, and our speaker of the day from Philippines and from Indonesia. Sapar, please help me to pin that up. They are Madam Emilia from the Executive Secretary from the Bina Swadaya Foundation, and also the Vice President from IFOM Asia, and also Miss Leigh, the Executive Director of Bayan Academy from the Philippines, and also from the family of Bayan Foundations. All right, without further ado, I would like to hand over the stage, and actually these more sessions that I will moderate. So thank you very much. Are you pinned? Sapa, have you pinned my speaker? Showcase my speaker.
Pinning
Please help me to pin the speaker and
Miss
showcase the
Emilia is
pin
already
speaker. Yep. Add pinned. Add pin. All right. Welcome. Hi. So I know Emilia is using a slide, and Leigh, maybe you have a story to tell us. So well, Sapra, when you prepare for Emilia's slide, Leigh, may I invite you first, and then to share with us about the work of Bayan Foundation, Bayan Academy, and also how you implement SSE model to accelerate SDG. Over to you, Ms. Leigh.
Thank you, Zoel. May I share my screen as well?
Yes, sure.
Let me just set it up. All right, there you go. Okay, so thank you, Zoel. Hello and good morning, everyone. Nice to see you all virtually. I'm Leigh, and I'm very grateful to share with you all today how Bayan Academy utilizes practitioner-led education to accelerate the SDGs. So for context, Bayan Academy is an organization under the umbrella of Bayan Family of Foundations, or BFF, or as we also like to call ourselves, your BFFs or your best friends forever. So at BFF, our mission is all about social development. We're an ecosystem of 4 foundations focused on creating end-to-end solutions for enterprises, organizations, and communities, from research, which is Bayan Innovation Group, to capacity building, which is Bayan Academy, to grassroots community development, which is Bayan Search, to strategic impact investing, which is Bayan Edge, all for our vision of a truly prosperous Filipino nation. So the organization that I work with, Bayan Academy, is essentially in charge of capacitating those at the very foundation of our economy. So this means that we serve nano, micro, small, and medium enterprises, cooperatives, and even aspiring professionals who are often rich in potential but underserved by traditional systems. So this means that we work with the farmers who feed the nation, the nano entrepreneurs running neighborhood stores, and even the young dreamers seeking technical skills for a better life. However, no, they all face a common daunting challenge, which is really the access gap. So while they have the grit, they often lack the formal management tools and the technical expertise required to scale. So this is where Bayan Academy comes in. We bring high-level entrepreneurship education directly to these grassroots communities to help their enterprises survive. So essentially, we want to empower people to lead their own development and help build the nation from below. So this brings us to Bayan Academy's mandate, which is really utilizing education for nation building. So for too long, high-level management, education, and social entrepreneurship have been viewed as an elite privilege. So this has been usually reserved for those with the resources to access top-tier universities and academic institutions. But at Bayan Academy, our mission really is to flip that script. So we want to shift social entrepreneurship and SSE from a privilege to a grassroots tool, especially for those who may not usually have the resources to access it but need it the most. So simply put, our strategy is to deliver practitioner-led management education. So we put emphasis on practitioner-led because at Bayan, we don't just teach theory, but we also translate complex business frameworks into practical and applicable tools designed specifically for underserved communities. So ultimately, our mandate is to foster nation building from below. We believe that regional stability and the success of the ASEAN Roadmap depend on inclusive and accessible capacity building. So when we empower the grassroots with the ability to manage, lead, and innovate, we also we're not just helping individuals, but we're also strengthening the very foundation of our nation and ultimately our region. So to better understand how we operate, we can look at Bayan's core philosophy, which is using education as a social tool. So in a traditional model, education is a product sold for profit. But in the SSE model, education is really a means of redistribution. So this means redistributing knowledge, power, and the opportunity to those that the mainstream economy has left behind. So we are able to do this through our professors in practice model. So this means that our professors at Bayan are those with 1 foot in development and 1 foot in the academe. So this just means that the management tools that we provide our students are not just theoretical, but are really hardened by the practical realities of working on the ground. So this approach is embedded across our core programs, our grassroots entrepreneurship and management, or GEM, and social entrepreneurship and management, or SEM programs, are designed to take the mystery out of management, providing accessible frameworks for community leaders so they can run sustainable organizations. We also partner with the private sector through initiatives like the CNAG program, where we help accelerate social enterprises that are ready to scale their impact. And for our technical vocational learners, we have the technopreneurship track. So this just ensures that technical skills are used as a force for good. Essentially, we don't just teach trades, but we also empower students to create solutions that prioritize community welfare alongside technical advancement. So essentially, we're not just training enterprise owners and TechVoc graduates, but we are cultivating SSE practitioners. So whether our students are running an enterprise or applying a technical trade, we want to teach them to lead with both a head for entrepreneurship and a heart for the people. So our work at Bayan is directly mapped to the UN SDGs, proving that the SSE model is, of course, a powerful engine for the 2030 agenda. So first, we address SDGs 1 and 8. So we do this by bridging the gap between workforce readiness and sustainable employment. So through our technical, vocational, and entrepreneurship programs, we equip the grassroots with employability and the investability skills that they need to move from subsistence to stability. So more than just providing training and program certificates, we provide them with a pathway to dignified work. We are also champions of SDG 4 through our definition of quality education being rooted in accessibility. So by designing practitioner-oriented management and leadership programs specifically for the grassroots, we ensure that the intellectual capital of high-level business schools is no longer a luxury, but a common good available to anyone who might need it. And then finally, we drive SDG 12. So in the traditional economy, success is measured by the bottom line. But in our programs, we teach a different metric. So we measure our training's performance, not just by their profit, but also by their positive impact on the communities and on their communities and the planet. So as we instill these SSE values early on, we want to ensure that the enterprises of tomorrow are built to be responsible, circular, and community-centric. So aligning our curricula with these goals ensure that every graduate of Bayan Academy becomes a localized catalyst for the global SDGs. So as we look toward the future of the ASEAN SDG-SSE Roadmap, of course, we must address the fundamental challenge of scalability. So at Bayan Academy, we believe that for the social and solidarity economy to truly thrive across the region, we must transition from the traditional view that grassroots organizations only need funding or financial aid. While, of course, capital is important, sustainability requires something deeper because this should include essentially access to SSE intellectual capital. So this means providing the research, the customized curricula, and the educational tools that allow a small community enterprise to scale into a regional impact maker.
50 seconds to wrap.
All right, sorry, I'm about to wrap up. Thank you. So for this to happen, we must institutionalize SSE education across ASEAN academic and training frameworks. We cannot leave the specialized knowledge in ivory towers as we must embed it into our systems because ultimately the goal is the true essence. The goal is the true essence of the solidarity, which is the empowerment. So as we provide grassroots communities with these sophisticated management tools, we're not just giving them a fish or actually even teaching them how to fish, but we're giving them the tools to manage the entire pond. So we are empowering them to lead their own development, ensuring that the ASEAN of 2030 is built on a foundation of self-reliant, inclusive, and highly capable community enterprises. So
Thank you very much, Leigh.
Yes, thank you very much, Zoel, and of course, the team for giving me the time to share. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lynn, and let's give a clap to Lynn. And I would say that this is the beauty of this platform. In this platform, we have different resource person. We have people who are running the academy. We have people to running different services. And I will encourage you to continue to engage with the coordinator and we see how to match up the dots. And in fact, we are also speaking with Thailand, speaking with Malaysia to actually come out more structured training course in different countries and we learn from one another. So thank you very much for Bayan for sharing the academy and what have been ready for us to actually leverage on for this roadmap. And for the next, without further ado, I would like to invite Miss Emilia from Indonesia. She will be sharing with us about how to leverage on the SSE model for the plastic reduction. All right, the plastic matter is in the environment. So because of time, you have 6 minutes. Over to you.
Hello, Zoel. May I sharing with myself because I have a little correction. Okay. Okay.
So
Already
okay, we
seen
see
my
it.
screen?
Yes, we see it.
Yeah.
Reducing plastic waste.
Yeah, thank you everyone. Because this is very inspiring from Dr. Denison that social solidarity economic is intersection between three across a sector, poor worker and also vulnerable group into production and wealth resilient. Because in our case, it's really that there are social solidarity economic. First, because maybe from of you maybe you still confused what is Bina Swadaya. Bina Swadaya Trubus Bina Swadaya Foundation, previously known as Bina Swadaya Foundation, is a social enterprise institution that dedicated to empowering self-resilient community through social entrepreneurship. And we already operated since 1967. Maybe Zul is still not was born. You're still young. And this is our vision and mission. You can find in our website. And this is our activity with the vulnerable and the poor people, reducing plastic waste through sustainable plastic pellet enterprise. And we do SDGs number 1, number 8, number 13, and also number 17. And this is the background that increasing volume of waste in Indonesia have become of pressing social and environmental issue. Landfill, in Jakarta we have a trouble with the landfill. Across the country are facing severe overcapacity, raising concern that many may no longer be able to operate effectively in near the future. In this situation, poses significant risks, including environmental degradation, public health hazard, and also challenges in urban management. And from years to years, very increase from the waste per ton per day. This is the ton per day. And one of the most critical example is in Bantar Gebang landfill in the Jakarta. The largest landfill serving Jakarta is the surrounding areas. The amount of waste entering Bantar Gebang have consistently grown over the years, highlighting the scale of the problem. So this is the big problem, not only in Jakarta, but also in the big city in Indonesia. Also in Yogyakarta, if you see. And the solution of Indonesian plastic waste problem lies in combining technological innovation, economic support, and strong collaboration among the stakeholders. The government has crucial responsibility to strengthen waste management infrastructure, expand recycle facilities, and invest in advanced technologies. Advanced technologies is a must for the Indonesia that can process plastic more efficiently and also sustainable. And Bina Swadaya have the role of the community education to community involvement is equality important. Public awareness and education can encourage households to adopt better habits to reducing, reusing, and also recycling plastic product. At the same time, the private sector can invest in business that manage plastic bottle waste. This is the Bina Swadaya way. And this business can green bottle into plastic flake and process them into pellets, which are then reused in the manufacturing. And this initiative can help the government to reduce the burden of waste, but also to drive the circular economy, turning discarded plastic into valuable resources and creating new economic opportunity. And this is our objective: integrate waste reduction through the utilization sustainable technology, increasing community awareness and education regarding the waste collection, encouraging business growth in the field of the sustainable environment waste processing, and also increasing social and environment responsibility to handle the social problem. And this is the collaboration and cooperation partnership model between Bina Swadaya as an investor, and also we provide the business development advice, and also we provide the training for the cooperation and also the community. And we have cooperation with the management operator that we call Teknologi Resik Sejahtera. This is the private company, and the role is to business manager, raw material procurement, production execution, and also product marketing and sales. And the benefit for the community is reduction of plastic waste by 600 tons per year, community involvement in plastic waste collection. We have 100 collector in Indonesia. We call it pemulung or plastic waste collection stall, and also opening employment opportunity for 20 people per year as an operator, poor people as operator, and also development of profitable community business in the field of the sustainable environment. The direct beneficiaries is 100 collector as a pemulung, and also 20 people operator in the factory, small factory actually, not the big factory. And the challenges in the program is price competition. As a collector or pemulung, store already have sales location and are provided with the capital in advance. So they get the money in advance. And also maintaining waste quality to meet market demand, and also human resources, strengthening in capability of personnel to be proficient and managing joint venture, and also sustaining trusted relationship with the business partner. This is the experience from Bina Swadaya, that we work collaboration with the pemulung. Pemulung is very poor people, and we make a social enterprise with them to increase the clean community, and to help government to reduce the waste, plastic waste. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Emilia, for a very, very solid case study how the corporations can actually play the role within different stakeholders. I believe that we have a lot to learn from Indonesia. All right, so now come to nearly the end of the program. I have another 2 persons to introduce, and it might be a slightly delay of 10 minutes. I hope that you can stay with us. But before I introduce the next speakers, can I invite you to prepare to on your camera? We will take a group photo. It's really excited that we have throughout 90 over people over the whole sessions, and some people are watching in the YouTube. So you may need to make up a little bit before we take a group photos. So are you ready? Are you ready? Let's take a group photos before I would like to introduce 2 very important persons in this roadmap. Upcoming, Dr. Victor will help us to actually map, to make you relevant to this roadmap, and also Dr. Ari for her closing remark. All right, so ready, Sapar? Are you helping us on this? Okay, so put up your best smile. Okay, ready? 1, 2.
2.
Please guide us, Sapar.
One more. 1, 2, 3. Done.
Wow, we see many familiar faces and also big faces. Hi, Agnes. Not sure whether we met before. Hi, Dr. Rosalina. Thank you so much. All right. Okay. Many new faces and also new faces. Thank you so much. And now, without further ado, I would like to invite Dr. Victor for the next sessions to help us to. This is the part that actually needs your feedback. All right, Dr. Victor, over to you.
Thank you, Zoel. Friends and colleagues, in the last hour or so, we've gone through firstly the context and background, which Dr. Denison laid out very clearly. We've looked at what is the SSE, its importance, its values, principles, and what we hope to achieve. we looked at the roadmap, a quick sort of spotlight on the goals and targets we want to achieve in the roadmap. And we had 2 concrete case studies from the Philippines and from Indonesia. So now is the moment we have a little bit of time to get your inputs on this in the journey, because the roadmap is a pathway for us to be able to build the solidarity across countries in ASEAN on the SSEs and make that a contribution to the achievement in SDGs up to 2030 and beyond. So we're going to do that by asking 2 or 3 questions. So we'd like your contribution to the vision as to what we want to achieve. What should be success look like? We want you to contribute your knowledge, your practices, your experiences, and lessons learned. And we want you to also let us know what support can we offer. How can we work across countries to provide that support, advice, and assistance as we build this network across the countries. Now, we're going to do that by using Mentimeter. I'd request you to pull out your smartphones or tablets and scan the QR code that is on the right, or once you log into www.menti.com, you can enter the passcode that is there on the left, 29144933. We'll give you a few minutes to do that before we open up the first question. Okay, Sapar, we can open up the first question. So we can see the responses coming in. Now, the first question is going to be what we call a word cloud. You can just type one word in your view that would mean success for the SDG-SSE roadmap by 2030. One word that will capture what that success will look like moving towards 2030. So you can type in your word for this first question. Partnerships. Good, let's continue. And the bigger the word becomes, there are more people typing that word. There are also, if you follow the chat, there are also people typing in the chat. Okay, 1 minute more for this question. Okay, the big words coming out, what success would look like would be impact, collaboration, empowerment, partnership, multi-stakeholders, among others. Okay, thank you for that. Let's move to the second question. The second question is open-ended, meaning you can type a sentence, a couple of words or a sentence. What knowledge, practices, and lessons learned can you or your organization contribute to the achieving the goals and targets of the roadmap. What can you or your organization contribute? In what area? You had from the portal an idea of the areas that we cover in the roadmap. What are the things that you can contribute or your organization can contribute? Starting with case studies. Anybody else? Okay, that's good. That covers both the macro and the micro issues we want to deal with. Okay, policy impact. Okay, we're trying to categorize that, but if that works. Okay, a few seconds more.
Wow.
Good. Thank you so much. That's really good. And some have given more details of that. We'll document this definitely, and we'll include this in the outcome from this launch event. Let's move to the third and final question. Now, in doing so, next question, Sapa.
All right, Dr.
Yeah,
Victor?
the last question. The last question.
Okay.
Just this is again open-ended. You can type in what you think. Now, in order to do that, what we'd like to do with the roadmap and the points that you raised in the last question, what technical advice and support would you or your organization require to contribute to the roadmap? What are the key areas we should be focusing on for providing that assistance and support across organizations and across the secretariat and others? What support is needed? Capacity, guidelines, frameworks. Knowledge dissemination, evidence. Financing. Yeah. SDG games related modules, impact assessments, case studies, handbooks, modules, training materials. Okay, a few seconds more on this and then we close. Okay, so thank you very much. We went through a quick feedback session. That's the best we could do with such a large audience and limited time that we have. But this discussion is going to continue. We'll document this and we'll take this up again when the next opportunity when we meet. I want to thank everybody because this is important that we get your feedback in order to ensure what Dr. Denison said, the local ownership of this roadmap. That's important for us. So thank you, and over back to Zoel.
Thank you very much, Dr. Victor. I think this is really important and very interesting activities. And what I will do immediately is two things. One, what you have feedback, I will add in the categories in the portal, and you can indicate and we will reach out to you. I'm really impressed that we have so much of resource person here. Even just within these hundreds of people, we have so much, so many. So let's build the community together. And secondly, I also put my email address, and also we have a WhatsApp group to facilitate all the communications and to get updated about the ASEAN SSE SDG Roadmap. If you are not part of this WhatsApp group and you are interested to continue to follow up with us, please join the WhatsApp group. And if you have any ideas, you feel that, hey, this is the way we want to belong, be a part of, and you are willing to explore to be the country lead, please let's communicate. I have shared my email address in the chat box. Thank you very much for staying with us. Without further ado, I would like to invite our last resource person of the day, Dr. Ari from Indonesia, to deliver the closing remark. Over to you, Dr. Ari.
Thank you very much, Zoel. Hi, everyone. So my name is Eri. I am from Indonesia. I am chairing the ASEAN Solidarity Economic Council. So if you see in the flyer that ASEC is one of the partners together with MySDGs, APPMG, and other institutions in holding these possible missions. I will call it, though this is ambitious, but this is possible mission. So to short that ASEC is stands for Asia, Continent Asia Solidarity Economic Council, with 31 organizations spread as a partner, spread across 11 countries in Asia. But among these 21 organizations, 10 part of these are located in the Southeast Asia. So we have Bayan, we have MySDG, we have HomeNet, we have Bina, Swadaya, and a lot of more. And I'm sure all of who are attended this webinar is actually ASEC partner, because I'm sure that we have the same missions in practicing and promoting the SSE. ASEC is, what is ASEC? ASEC is a network of networks. So in the country, so that means the country that I have just mentioned in Southeast Asia, they are not only the organizations, but they are as well a network. So that means like the MySDGs, they have as well in Malaysia, they have as well a lot of the other SSE practitioners gathered under the MySDGs Academy. So this is the way how the ASEAN work. This is the way how the ASEC works, yeah. And the type of the ASEC members mostly are the grassroots organizations like a HomeNet and a cooperative and so on. Part of this as well, social enterprise like the Bina, Swadaya, as well the institutions who are promoting and supporting the social development with the SSE as a platform. So in my closing, I would not love to speech actually, but I would like to summarize how we go forward. Yeah. So I don't know, might be okay. The slide is already there. So the ASEAN SDG-SSE advocacy, it is part of the strategic advocacy plan of the ASEC. Why does advocacy matter? At the first, because we believe if we are doing this solely, yeah, via the grassroots, if we are doing it together, then we can be stronger. And therefore, we need a network. So we come together here for networking in the policy advocacy for SDG-SSE. And the second reason why the CSO advocacy is matter, because we want to amplify the message. Mostly if we only working alone, then the voice so less heard by the government. Therefore, we have to collect. We can do it by coalitions in policy formulations. I'm sure that in the country, we have done it a lot. but now we do it together for sub-regional advocacy. And the third reasons why the CSO advocacy is better, we would like to bring the evidence-based recommendations. We know the grassroots organizations are the doers. They practice the SSA principle and bring innovations in narrowing the gap between the gap of inequality. Therefore, we need participate in the policy formulations. By gathering in this SDG-SSE forum, we are trying to bring our evidence to the policymakers. And the last but not least, advocacy by CSO is matters because a lot of innovations has been done by the grassroots as alternative solutions and has been found as well by ours. So therefore, these results has been to be conveyed to the policy as a policy recommendations. So therefore, if we see with the platform that has been shared by Dr. Khairil, that we want to collective put our data, our result in the platform, so we can collectively say to the decision makers that the CSO as one pillars of the development has been done a lot contributing to SDGs. What is actually in the end that we can get from this policy advocacy? You know, at the first, because the word is, in fact, that the words dominated by the oligarchy. And we need, therefore, we need to gather together to have this, the affirmative from the government in order to bring narrowing, to get narrowing the gap of the equality with the concept of social solidarity economy. So the last word that I wanted to tell you, enjoy the network, enjoy the new friendships. I am sure that we will get the fun along the journey. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I always like the Frenchness of Dr. Ari. Thank you so much. And thank you everyone for your solidarity spirit that be with us from the beginning until the end. So I would say that we have come to the end of the launching. It is a simple launching, but because of your presence throughout the process, it makes a lot of meaning. Let me spotlight all the resource person, and I would like to say the last thank you, and also not to say goodbye, but say that we just start. Okay, we just start the journey. It's a 5 years journey. So I invite that we continue to journey together, to make friends together. Dr. Lind, okay, who else that? Leigh,
Leigh.
Sapar, please help me to check, right?
And Sapar.
So, all right, so thank you very much. On behalf of the secretariat, we would like to say thank you and goodbye to you. At the same time, I also want to invite you to actually unmute yourself, use your own language to say goodbye. So thank you very much and stay in touch.
Paalam.
Terima kasih.
Sampai
Okay,
jumpa.
welcome.
Terima kasih semua. Sampai
Terima kasih.
jumpa.
Bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Zoel, do you want to take a photo of everyone?
Yeah, sure. All right. Okay, thank you, everyone. Have a very good day. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.